It's happening right here, right now. Hello, hi, how you doing? My name is Malova Finn, and it's absolutely so great to have you guys here. Woo! This is my first live officially on YouTube. I've never been live on YouTube before, so I absolutely do hope you enjoy it. Quick disclaimer: very loud in the house. Baby just woke up. So anything can happen, but you know what? Let's get this live going because you're here, I'm here. Let's just do it. All right. So basically, this live is about um, it's about the love series that I wanted to start, which I'm already starting right now. And a friend of mine asked because like I had said in the shorts that I've been posting previously, that this is our love month, so I'm gonna create some love content for this month. So I decided to go live about it. I was going to shoot it, edit, do all those things, but I just wanted to be very spontaneous about it and really just get into it and speak to you live and just speak from my perspective and obviously learning from other people as well. So um this is why I started this love content, because I personally believe in progressive marriages. So I believe that a marriage has to progress, no matter how long it has been, it has to be constantly progressing. And I also believe that it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. I don't know what perfect looks like, but I definitely know what progress looks like, because you can compare from what it looked like to what it is like at that moment. So that is why. And just by the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Please do not do that. Just subscribe, like, comment down below. Get really interactive, and you know what, I will be on the lookout for your chats and all those things. So yeah. So a friend of mine, then when I started telling people, you can ask questions, and this is not me saying I know it all. Trust me, I'm far from knowing it all. It's just that having been married for 4 years, there are quite a few things, one or two things that I definitely did learn. So I definitely believe that that one or two thing might be the very thing that helps someone else. Hi, what's up, friend? So like I said, I will not be speaking from my very own experience, but I'm going to be speaking from a very general point of view, where I believe we all look at certain things. We know what works. I am one person who's always honest, and I believe that to some degree, in marriages, relationships, we know what works and we know what doesn't work. So today we're going to be talking about that. So everything I'm going to be saying, it's not necessarily from just me and my experience, but also what I learned from other people and what I believe could work for my very own marriage. So this friend of mine asked, what keeps the spark after you have been married for a while, right? So first of all, I am definitely not doing research. As you can see, I'm here with you now, and I'm going to be speaking from what I believe what a spark is. First of all, I think a spark, when we are talking about a spark, we're talking about something, that brings flames, it's something that brings light into the whole space. So I believe the spark is something that keeps something alive. And in this case, we're talking about what keeps marriage alive, what keeps marriage very interesting after you have been married for quite a while. So I want to say, obviously, you guys know me. If you know me, you know that I love Jesus with all my heart. Yes. So definitely everything that I'm speaking from a point of, being inspired and being influenced by the word of God. So first of all, I believe marriage is a God idea. It's a God idea. It's the greatest institution that God has ever built. Wanting to build a structure, wanting to build something that will last forever, because marriage is definitely generational. Because in marriage, you have kids, and kids make kids, and the other kids make the other kids. So this is a never-ending thing. You know, this is an infinite thing that goes from generation to generation, and how we display it, you know, will gradually grow from generation to generation. And the things that you need to change from one generation to the other are possible. You know, there's nothing as, you know, generational curse. It's probably a generational miscommunication, or a misbehavior that can always be broken, you know. So I believe that God, when he created marriage, he was creating marriage because he wanted to build so many things, and he wanted to build so many things from a point of, you know, a place that is grounded, a place, you know, that has a promise that's going to last forever, you know. So I personally, you know, thought about 8 things, you know, just 8, not a lot, just 8 things that I believed, you know, I look at, and I also learn from my own marriage, and then also learn from other people's marriages, you know, that could keep the spark. And since we're talking about a godly marriage here, you know, and we're saying marriage is God's idea, then if someone owns the idea, I'm sure they definitely know how perfectly it will work out for the two individuals, you know. So first of all, I would say I personally believe that you have to pray for your spouse, you know. The sun is setting, so the lighting is going, and I didn't switch on my ring lights, but it's fine, let's just do this live, you know. So first of all, pray for your spouse. Like I said, like, pray for the other person, because the more you pray for the other person, your perspective towards them changes, and also you get to know more about them. Like I said, you know, anything that's got to do with prayer, then you're involving God, and God is the one who created your spouse. So if you are praying for your spouse, God will enlighten you, or bring into knowledge, you know, or understanding certain things that you probably did not recognize or realize about your spouse. So praying for your spouse will open your eyes, and it will give you a different perspective about, you know, your spouse. The second one that I truly believe couples should be doing, or even if you want to get married, if you're still in a relationship, you know, pray together. Pray together. The reason why you're praying together is because you want to build a solid marriage. You want to build something that's going to last forever. You want to build something that you can always go to God, you know, to him. But if you are doing your own thing and you know it's not godly, then you will not be able to pray together, you know. And first of all, that will be a question that I actually also ask you, you know, if you're in a relationship and you guys are planning to get married, or if you're already married, you've been married for years, what are you praying for your spouse? Are you guys praying together? Because if you're not praying together, you know what, it's never too late, but it's going to be more beneficial if you guys start praying together. And you also get to hear what the other person's prayer point is about the marriage, and you also get to have their mind, and you get to hear the heart. So it always is very important to actually, you know, pray together. Togetherness, this unity, this oneness. Even after praying, you know, you move forward with a very specific mindset, because both of you, you know, spoke about something and you brought it before God. So that means you're more intentional about it when you leave that room, you know, after praying with, you know, your partner. Could it, yeah, your partner or your spouse. So like I'm saying, it is a love series, so anything that's got to do with love. So if you are with a partner and you're planning to get married, start praying together. You know, God will reveal certain things to you that you didn't even think would matter in the relationship or in the marriage. So you definitely want to be praying together. Number 3 that I believe, you know, keeps the spark in marriage, after you've been married a while, is sticking to the basics. Guys, sticking to the basics. You know, basics are fundamental things that build the thing that people would deem as the result. Do you understand? So if you know that you built your marriage on, you know, constant communication, that you built your marriage on fun, you built your marriage on, you know, having healthy conversations, very intellectual conversations, continue to do that. That is the exact thing that built your marriage. That is the exact thing, you know, that got you where you are. So if you stop doing the very thing that, you know, the very building block that got you the mansion, then you are definitely are going to not have a solid thing anymore, because now you stopped doing what got you to where you are right now. So you have to keep on doing the same things over and over and over again. And obviously, even if you are doing the same things over and over and over again, the perspective and the way in which you do them at that time changes. So you definitely want to stick to the basics. Number 4, I'm just going to ask you a question and you will answer it yourself. What is it that you did, you know, that got you guys married? You know, there are certain things that you guys did. There are certain things that you guys spoke about. There's certain activities that you guys participated in that got you to be married. You know, you looked at the person and you said, you know what, I definitely want to spend the rest of my life with this person. So what is it that you guys were doing then that got you to where you are now? So now, if you can answer that, then you have to go back and start doing all those little things that made up the big thing now that we call marriage. Number 5, go on dates. I asked my husband, what is it that's keeping the spark alive? And he's like, yo, definitely go on dates, you know. And he said, you know, there'll always be something to do financially, you know. So the money will always be going somewhere, but go on dates. And when we mean dates, we don't mean expensive dates. You know, you can't have an ice cream date, you can't have a popcorn date, you can't have a movie night. Movie night meaning, you know, you just play a movie from indoors and then you just make popcorn and like very affordable but also very memorable, and like you show that you put effort in wanting this thing to live. So you definitely want to do all of that, you know. Go on dates. And obviously dates create a very beautiful atmosphere because you guys are outside the house sometimes, and you know, you get to speak nicely. Like there's something about the right environment, especially also when you want to talk about important things. You know, go out, go on dates, and go and talk about, you know, whatever you need to talk about. Sometimes it just helps, you know, if the environment is nice, and then you also are in a very a good state of mind, so you are able to actually, you know, address things nicely and very maturely. So go on dates, not expensive dates. I did not say expensive dates, but if you do have to go on that one date that you saved up for every now and then do exactly that. It'll all be worth it, you know it. So obviously having meaningful conversations also put you in a very good place with your partner, because now you get to hear the mind as well, you know. So speak about those awkward things. Basically speak about each and every single thing that could, you know, possibly be very uncomfortable to talk about, because if you don't talk about it, it will keep your marriage very uncomfortable. So talk about it so that it's not the one that's keeping you uncomfortable, but you know, addressing uncomfortable things, you know, eventually will bring ease to the marriage. It's getting very dark, but let's finish. Okay. So number 5, I'm only left with 3. I'm gonna be out anytime soon. um, so number 6 is communication. And when I mean communication, I don't mean like talk to me, I'll talk to you type of situation. I mean update yourself, you know, on your partner. Remember, you guys are married, and the things you liked then, you don't necessarily like now. And it's solely because of growth. You know, so have updated information about your spouse. What do they like now? You know, where do they want to go now? What's their favorite color now? You know, what do they prefer doing now? So if you don't have all of that, you're definitely going to work on a wrong template or an old template and expect new things to come out from your marriage, which is it's close to impossible. So you don't want that to happen to you. You guys, I'm gonna try to switch the light on and see what happens, you know, because this is very dark. Oh, this is better. This is way better. Okay, cool. Um, so you definitely want to do that. Number 7. So obviously, like I said, you find out what your partner wants now. What's the vision now? You know, you For instance, we've been married for 4 years, right? What my husband liked a year ago might not be necessarily what he likes now. What he wanted to accomplish then might not be what he wants to accomplish now. So now I need to find out what is it that he likes now, what are his interests now, what is his focus now, because in that, getting updated information about your spouse helps you help them, and it helps you make your love better, because once you're there for them, once you support them in the relevant thing, because remember, it's all, I think what keeps the spark is relevance. That is the word we're all looking for here. Relevance. Are you relevant to your spouse or with your spouse in terms of what you guys want? Where are we headed to? If 3 4 years ago we were headed to the west, I try to find it now, are we still headed to the west? Because now I need to, now that I'm getting new energy and I want to invest more into the direction of our marriage, are we still going that direction? Because you don't want to head to the wrong direction simply because you're outdated. So do update yourself, try to find out what is it that they like, what are they on about at the moment. Do you understand? And that will help you navigate the direction in which your partner wants to go to. That is very important, because support build keeps the structure together, it keeps the structure standing. So if there's no support in marriage, um then there will not be spark. But if someone sees that you support them in what they want to do, in the things they would like to get involved in, you're there with them, you want to get your hands dirty with them, then they start to feel loved. They start feeling like, oh, this person actually takes this thing that I'm taking serious, because you guys are one eventually. So if you take them serious, you're taking yourself serious. So how one are you guys? Do you understand? How one are you? How far do you want to go for this person? But you know what, my advice is, want to go as far as they want to go, because you are one with them. If they flop, a part of your marriage will feel it. If they succeed, your marriage is also going to feel it. So you definitely do want to be part of their every single area of your lives. So you definitely want to do that. 7. This is my second last one. Number 7 on how to keep the spark in your marriage once you've been married for quite a while is spontaneity. One thing I will tell you about spontaneity is that you really get to see what the other person, where their mind is. People love new things. Sometimes people like the things that they didn't know they like. So spontaneity, being spontaneous, just freestyling your way into having fun with your partner and trying to show them that you still appreciate them and you love them more than you loved them before. All those things matter. And if you bring spontaneity into your marriage, bring fun, bring different things, different counts, different matters. Everyone wants different all the time, because if you do the same thing all the time, it gets boring, or it really feels very monotonous, or there's no growth. So with growth comes new things. So try new things, be very spontaneous. I mean, I remember with my husband, I used to, when I met my husband, he wasn't really into this whole fashion thing. He wasn't really fussy about it. But knowing me, I love clothes, I love looking great and all those things. And I got him into that, And, I started shopping for him, or I'd start suggesting things, or I'll start showing him pictures of what I think would suit him and all those things. And eventually it grew on him. And now he likes nice things. And it's not a bad thing. And he likes it from his own perspective, not because I influenced it. Or it could be I influenced it, but they found what they like within that which they've been influenced on, if that makes sense. But also, that is very nice, because they also get to experience a new aspect of themselves, in the marriage. That, oh, I never really thought I'd be into this. I never thought I'd be into action movies, but I am right now, and I like it. Well, some, not all the movies, but some. I'm not an action movie person, but trust. Even this past weekend, we went to go watch a movie that I love, that he loves, and it's an action movie, you know. So it's not always about the rom-coms, ladies, but he knows I love a rom-com for days, you know. But also you see that, you know, that's a part of me that I never really thought I had, simply because I was just like, no, we're not doing the guns thing, we're not doing the people dying thing. But you know, eventually I was just like, some actions actually very have, and they really have very cool stories. So let's go for it, you know. And here I am, I'm having so much fun, and it's not always one-sided way. It's always, you know, me always having to be accommodated, but also, you know, it's always, it's the both of us, you know. We are both enjoying this thing, and even if this thing was brought by this one person, but the other person can also find joy in the fact that their partner is having fun in it. So spontaneity, try new things, try new restaurants. Like, don't tell me you've tried all the restaurants around your area. You can't. It's impossible. You know, try new styles, like, of fashion, or, you know, talk about different things, you know. Even like spontaneity in conversations. And when I say spontaneity, I don't only mean going out or buying things, or I'm also talking conversations. What are you guys talking about that you didn't really talk about years ago, or when you guys first started getting married? You know, those things count, because it also shows growth. You know, the whole point of keeping spark alive is growth, is growth. We want to grow, but we want to grow having fun. We want to grow knowing that, you know, we are moving forward, and in our moving forward, we are both benefiting, and there's an impact in all of that, you know. Last but not least, you know. And oh, by the way, I didn't put these things, you know, chronologically. So whichever order I started with, end with, it's not, you know, how important, like most important to least important. No, it's just me saying, these were my thoughts, these were my points. And you know, you could also like just comment down below and let me know what's working for your marriage, and how are you keeping the spark. How long have you been married? I mean, I've only been married for 4 years. I can only say so much, you know. But obviously, with the Spirit of God and the leading and the guiding of the Holy Spirit, there's so much that you actually discover when you are married. And there's obviously certain things that you go through based on your knowledge, you know, your relationship with God, your marriage. How centered are you in Christ with your marriage? There's a lot that goes on in there. So my last one is love loudly and unashamed. Love loudly and unashamed. Guys, if you love your partner loudly and unashamed, you know, I will talk about myself on this one. Like, I love being loved, you know. I love, you know, and I love being loved loud and unashamed. Why? Because personally, it boosts my confidence. I don't know about the other person, but when you know, like when someone is loud about their love for you, it boosts confidence. You know, it keeps you grounded. It's like, oh, we're here for one thing and one thing only. There's someone knocking on the door. This, yeah, there's someone knocking on the door, and I have to attend to them, but I think someone will attend to them. But let's continue. So this last one, so these are the things that happen when you go live. But here we are. So, love loudly and unashamed. So I love being loud. I love being loved loud and unashamed, because it boosts my confidence, and you know, it grounds you. You know, so this very thing that we are journeying into, or we are journeying on, you know, it is a real thing. It shows me that this is a real thing. This thing is for sure. And if you show me that the thing is for sure, it also, you know, I go out there walking with my chest up, with my head held high, you know, confident in this thing that I'm into, because you know what, I am loved loudly and unashamed. And I'll just bring like a very sweet, smooth reference from the Bible. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible where Jesus says, if you deny me before men, I will deny you before my Father. So this expression shows me that, you know, even Jesus had the very same expression. Like, if you're not going to love him loudly and unashamed, then he's going to deny you before his father. So how much more we who are doing this marriage from God's institution, we would have the same passions, we would have the same desires, that, you know what, let the whole world know that you love me, because it boosts confidence. It says, hey, I own this. Your trademark, your name is a trademark into that person's life. When they see them, they see you. When they see you, they see them. You are that one. So do love your partner loud and unashamed. I do understand other people do it in terms of, posting each other on social media. That is not the standard. Whatever the standard is to you, ask your partner, how would you want me to love you loud? How would you want me, to appreciate you publicly? Ask, and also, if you want to be loved loud and unashamed, communicate that to your partner. Your partner probably has a gift of prophecy, but that on its own, probably they haven't prophesied yet, right? So now communicate, open your mouth. Your partner, there's so much going on in their lives, so communicate the things that you would love to be done in your marriage to keep the spark alive. Because at the end of the day, if I don't open my mouth about how I want to be loved, which is the most important thing, because the very thing that brought us together is love. So if we are not communicating on how we want to be loved, then the whole purpose of why we started this thing in the first place diminishes. So I personally would say, you know what? The whole five love languages thing, it works. It just works. Find out what your partner actually loves and how they love being loved. Do you understand? All the five love languages, they actually work. All of them. I would say I love all the five love languages, but my top one is quality time. So if you don't love me via quality time more than anything else, I malfunction, because I'm just like, I'm not getting attention in all these things, in this very thing. And if it's the very thing, it's the standard. If it's my communication, then do that. Don't try. Love is not rocket science. Love is definitely not rocket science. So if you communicate your points nicely, I know my husband's love language is touching. So if I want to give him quality time but I don't touch him, I am creating chemistry. I'm creating rocket science. I'm creating hieroglyphics out of something that is very simple. He has communicated what his love language is. Obviously, acts of services, when you help them clean, and gifts, all those things, yes. Affirmations, all those things, they all work hand in hand, but there's one that stands above the other ones. And bank on that one to make sure that your marriage, progresses. So remember, marriage is not perfect. Marriage is progressive. If it's not progressing, if something is not going up, it's going down, because gradually every day, the world is evolving. So is the person who is living in this very world. So if it was excellent today, tomorrow it will be mediocre. So try to always update yourself on what is it that your partner wants today. It's all about today now. If your partner wasn't drinking Coke yesterday and you see them drinking Coke today, then tomorrow you ask them, hey, do you still drink Coke? Or is there anything new on the block? Then they'll let you know. Then you ride on that. Love is progressive. You don't have all the answers, but if you work together as a team, you'll discover a lot of things about your marriage. So, like I said, love loudly and publicly. This one, I feel like it's a very general one. I don't think there's anyone who wants to be loved, who wants to be hidden. I don't think if I love someone with everything in me, to a point of standing before God on the altar, making an oath that I will love this person for the rest of my life, then I hide them. I hide my expression for them. When Jesus Christ died for each and every single person, he died on the cross, where each and every single person who was present in that time, in that era, could see him, could know that This is the greatest love story. Like, this person died for all our sins. They knew it, they saw it happen. So it was love that was declared publicly. Weddings, you are in a marriage, right? So if you are in a marriage, that means the wedding was done publicly, be it in a magistrate court, you went to Home Affairs, there were people there. So this means this thing was done publicly. So the whole public declaration brings about confidence to a human being that what they are working on is solid and the other person takes it serious. Remember, that's it from my side. Do let me know from your side, even if you were married this past weekend, what's working for you now? You know, because I believe if you are married for 4 years, you'd love to hear from someone who was married for 30 years. You'd love to hear from someone who was married a week ago. Successes, you know. I remember there was a person who said, who I told about our Fiverr. So we have a thing that's called Fiverr. So when we have Fiverr, we're basically saying the world stops. Like, nothing, the world stops and it's just the two of us. So that's a Fiverr. Sometimes, you know, you could be busy, you know, with different phases of life. You do get busy all the time. So we would have time where we stop everything. Like, even if you're on your phone, put your phone away, stop everything, and it's just the two of us, and we call it a Fiverr. So someone said that they said they're gonna call it a tenner. So they're gonna have it for 10 minutes where it's just them, the two of them. They're not talking about anyone, it's just about them. That thing will blow your mind. Try it, try it, try it, where literally the world stops just for your partner, and you will see how amazing it works. You guys, that's it from me. Those are the 8 things that I personally, like I said, I went live because I didn't want to do research. I wanted it to be from me, from my heart, and you too. You can also share with me from you, from your heart. What is it that is keeping the spark alive in your marriage? You guys, I'm Oliver Finn, and this is my YouTube channel. We'll be doing this quite often. The live interaction, the everything works. My Mello, thank you so much. Yes, girl. I will see you guys next time. I am out. I only asked for 30 minutes to do the live. My son is here, my husband is here, we're at my mother's house. So you know what? We need to respect, you know, time constraints. So it's been 32 minutes and it's been so great, you guys. Do let me know if you want to ask a question from here. But obviously, the next live, I'll be talking about whatever I'll be talking about based on love, marriage, and all these things. And remember, if anything, if you feel that, you know, this video didn't fulfill you to the T, ask the question and I'll try to answer it from a specific point. And if you want to advise as well, we're all here for that. Every single day is a learning day. We learn new things all the time. We learn what works for the other. Maybe it could work for us. And experimenting. Marriage is different. There is no, yes, there's a template, but there's no template at the same time, because you are a different individual with different background, with different opinions, with different perspectives. That's why even when you try the same thing as the other people, the outcome won't always be the same. And I believe that's the one thing that we also need to start looking at, that you are you and there won't be another pair that is you the way you are. So don't feel awkward about how things are happening in your marriage, but gradually grow and learn from how you guys are and seek understanding. Like I said, my first point was pray for your spouse. Seek understanding on the desires. Do you understand? Because love is a very is a very big concept. It's who God is. It's God personified. So if you ask him, you know, regarding this person and regarding your marriage, trust me, you will find all the answers. They may not be what you want them to be, but they will be answers that are going to set your marriage up for success. And I definitely started this love series thing only for this month, but if you wanted to continue, it will continue. And that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for coming live. And if you find it here, thank you so much for still going into the live and watching it. And let me know what you learned. Let me know what you want to advise. What is it that I can do from my side? And that is it, you guys. Until the next live, Peace. Peace out. Peace out. I don't know how to leave this live, guys. Help me. Help me. How? What do I do? Do I don't know how to, baby. I don't know how to stop the live. How do I do it?